There is $393,000 up for grabs in the coveted WSOP bracelet. It's been about 3 years since the win of my first bracelet. Let's go! And now I have another shot to make poker history. I'm entering the final table in 5th in chips. Can we bank another WSOP bracelet, or will it all come crashing down? Let's find out and get right into the action. I enter the final table 5th in chips with a stack of about 1.3 million in front of me. The blinds are 25K, 50K, and we get right into it on one of the very first deals of the day. I pick up 8-6 of hearts in the big blind. The low jack player, first to act off of a short stack, raises things up to 100,000, and action folds to me here. Definitely cognizant of this opponent having a very, very narrow range of hands, so I decided to make the call. Of course, can't fold for just a 2 big blind raise, but definitely going to be cautious. Flop comes 7-6 deuce 2 spades, and I already don't love this spot here, flopping middle pair. I check it over to my opponent, and he throws out a small bet of 75,000 worth 1.5 big blinds. I decide to make the call, although I don't think my hand is ahead ever here, but let's see a turn, hoping to improve. Turn is the 7 of diamonds, which is very, very interesting. On one hand, I could start turning my hand into a bluff and try to lead here to make all of his strong 1-pair holdings feel really bad about the situation, as I have lots of trips now. But I decided to check and be more on the cautious side again, and my opponent checks this one back as I'd expect him to. River is the ace of spades. Now, the flush draw gets there, another overcard, so if I was ahead against ace king, ace jack, well, you know, I'm no longer ahead. So I check it over to my opponent, just hoping for a check back or just going to be folding regardless, and he does end up checking back. I get shown the bad news up against jacks. Just like that, I'm down to just over 1 million chips after this first hand. Blinds get increased, and here I am in the next situation. There's a hijack player, raises things up to 125,000. Sam Soverel to my right in the cutoff, the chip leader of the table, 3 bets to 350,000. And now I'm on the button with just over 900,000 chips, 15 big blinds, and peel ace queen off suits. Ooh, this is a pretty tough spot. If you can see the graphics on screen, look, obviously seems like a slam dunk all in, but there's a couple of things at play here that I wanted to fully think out. I understand that Soverel is going to be a little bit more aggressive than usual just because he's the chip leader and can apply lots of pressure. But the other issue is that in the small blind is a shorter stack than mine. He's sitting with maybe 12 big blinds, and these pay jumps matter a lot. So I have lots of ICM pressure on me. I think ace queen offsuit is a relatively close spot because ace jack is a pure fold, ace queen suited is a pure shove, ace king offsuit, once again, a really easy shove, but ace queen, I don't know if it's worth a lot to shove here. Granted, I am very short stack with only 15 big blinds, so it seems like a pretty easy grip it and rip it situation, but I tank and end up thinking that I'd rather be more cautious early on in this FT and let my cards go. Little bit of a controversial fold. So what ends up happening is that the hijack player defends and calls this 3-bet. And we're going to a flop of jack 9, 5, 2 spades in the hearts. Action goes check, check here. Turn comes the king of hearts. Now, in my situation, I'm glad I folded because, you know, I don't really beat a whole lot with ace queen. The hijack player ends up checking, Soverel bets, and the hijack folds. I end up asking Soverel if he would have called an all-in because it's very obvious that everyone knows that I was thinking about shoving but passed on the spot. And Soverel, well, said he would have made a crying call. So maybe from an action standpoint, it was wrong to fold ace queen, but from a result standpoint, he was going to side call my all-in anyways, and then he would have spiked the king on the turn, and I most likely would have been dead out of this tournament. So maybe I saved myself, but this was definitely a controversial one. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would have done. Randomly walking around the street, and I'm going to go over 2 quick sponsorships of this video. So big thank you to WPT Global. You guys already know this. Sponsored by them. Use my code Rampage for a 100% deposit bonus if you are new and signing up. We got plenty of games running, so it's pretty sick. If you're outside the US, then feel free to hop on WPT Global and play. For the people who are within the US, though, this is applicable to you guys. There's a lot of you guys. Poker Coaching has an end of summer sale
along with launching a whole new GTO trainer wizard for pre-flop stuff. So if you want to improve your pre-flop strat and improve your poker game, like me, I really didn't know many resources and tools to use when I was new playing poker. Always wanted to get better, didn't know how to do it, and I hopped in on pokercoaching.com, and luckily I'm working with them now to introduce the tool and resources to all you guys. So use my code Rampage, or use the link down in the description below, pokercoaching.com/rampage. They have everything from pre-flop, post-flop. They've got training videos and tutorials, and most importantly, a brand new GTO trainer for pre-flop. So if you want to get better, click the link down in the description below. There's a bunch of value for a very inexpensive price down in the link, and they've extended their summer sale just for you guys. They are extending the summer sale, so highly recommend checking it out. And yeah, big thank you to WPT Global, pokercoaching.com. Let's get back to winning this tournament.
So I'm chipping down with about 800,000 chips, and there's Ponikov's opening up from the hijack to 120,000. Here, hoping to peel something worthy of playing or shoving, and looking down at 7-3 offsuit. Not what I want to see. So I'm going to let this one go, and very, very bad start to this final table, but at least I'm still alive. In the next situation, next orbit, I pick up ace-queen offsuit. I'm first to act in the low jack, and you damn know that I am ready to rip it. Sitting with about 12 to 13 big blinds in my stack. Ace-queen in this spot is an easy all-in, so I'm going to go for it, rip it in there. Action one by one ends up folding, so we get this all in through, and finally, a couple hands in, you see me scooping up chips in a much needed situation. The very next deal, we're in another situation. The low jack player, who's also short stacked, raises once again on my big blind. Is he attacking me, or is he just waking up with premiums? Well, it's time to find out, because he raises to 120,000 and I peel 6-5 of clubs in the big blind. Very easy to defend with playable cards. And we go to a flop of ace queen 6, all hearts. Well, little did I know, I knew I was going to fold regardless, but low jack just flopped the nuts, which is amazing for him. What a dream spot that I can't seem to remember what that feels like right now. My opponent throws out a very small bet of 1 big blind. I snap fold the bottom pair, no hearts, and once again, chipping down. At this stage, blinds have increased, and I am now, unfortunately, the smallest stacks at the table. Once again, I'm in the big blind here, and there is Cult Scar in the low jack, once again raising my big blind to 160,000. Lou, one of the other short stacks in the cutoff, 3-bet shoves for 985,000. Here, picking up 10-3, going to let this one go, but we do see action. The low jack player snap calls, and he's covered. We see aces versus Lou's 10s. Here, rooting for that 20% to happen because I want the pay jump. So rooting for 10s to win, and unfortunately, it does not happen. Aces wins, and he finds a really big double up to be in the middle of the pack of this final table. But what is good for me still is that Lou is down to 200,000 chips, 3 big blinds. It's now time to lock it up and not play many hands, hoping for Lou to bust, and we all collectively secure a pay jump. Shortly after that hand, Lou goes all in for his remaining 200,000 chips under the gun, because you have 3 big blinds. You got to shove any 2, I guess, and Ponikovs ends up making the call with any 2. So we have an any 2 versus any 2 situation, and we see 10-3 offsuit of Lou's versus Ponikov's 7-deuce. Come on, 7-deuce, the legendary hand. There are so many prop games played with it. Can it redeem itself? Absolutely, absolutely not. No. 10-3 is going to win, unfortunately, hitting a pair on the turn. Lou doubles up, but still, he's not out of the woods yet because he's paying the big blind the very next deal. Here, moving forward, we have Bronstein raising to 225,000, and Lou in the big blind for only 440,000. Jams all in. Bronstein calls, and we're sweating this one because we have another opportunity to secure a pay jump. It's Lou's 10-9 versus Bronstein's King 3. This time, we're rooting for the hand that is ahead. We're going to a flop, which is so sweaty in Jack 8 deuce. All of a sudden, Lou has pair outs, open-ended straight draw outs, and the turn seals the deal in the queen. Man. Really feeling rough now, and now I am suddenly the shortest stack at the table. Lou finds a triple up from a stack of 3 big blinds, and now my priority isn't about securing a pay jump. Now it's time to chip up in a spot that I think is best, and here we are arriving to that next spot a few minutes later. We're in the big blind ourselves with 500,000 chips, which is just good enough for north of 6 big blinds. The low jack player once again raising my big blind. He must always have a premium because he's picked up jacks, he's picked up king 10, he's picked up aces. Now raising once again on my short stack, and action folds to me, and I pick up ace 10 offsuit. This is not a comfortable spot for me to be in, everyone. Like, it's very obvious that this opponent has a strong hand. Do I think ace 10 offsuit is ahead? Absolutely not. But what can I really do? Can I call and leave 4 big blinds left behind to see a flop? Or do I just YOLO it and push all in because, you know, I have an offsuit ace that's decent, maybe? Anyways, I decided on the latter option and shove. Kolskar, of course, makes the call, and I see he has pocket jacks once again. So we're going to need to hit an ace, and we're going to sweat out a run out for my tournament life.
Here comes the flop. King 8-8. Nothing there for Rampage, but some backdoor draws. Not even a backdoor. Not even.
No, he does. He has one backdoor draw. Let's see if Mincy can figure it out.
I see it. I see it.
Running 10s?
Running 8s would have been quads with the ace kicker, but now he's looking for an ace and an ace only to stay in this tournament, or Ethan Yao will hit the rail in 6th place.
And the river is no dice. Entered the final table with 6 players left, and I am leaving the final table in 6th place, not securing any sort of pay jump. Pretty heartbreaking, unfortunate fashion. As the best hand I ever saw all day, I actually ended up folding pre-flop. And yeah, unfortunate to only lock up what I was already secured, which is roughly around $80,000. It would have been much better to win this and win $393,000. But here we are. The dream of winning another WSOP bracelet is dead for now. All right, out for the min. Fuck my life. Shout out to the homies for coming though. For the rail. Also Tom, Jamin, Johnny, appreciate you guys. Yeah, that just sucks. Everything sucks. Out for 80, which is like the minimum that we locked up. Unfortunate that the short stacks all doubled. Unfortunate that I folded the ace queen O versus Sam's king queen that now I just learned that he had. I thought it was like a reasonable fold. Just like results-wise, obviously, it's unfortunate to see those cards, but Sam would have called, he said, and that he would have spiked the king anyways, so I would have been down 6 regardless of what happens. That's it. So thanks for the support. Real time hurts right now. I'm gonna go golf with the homies, because that's how you heal from pain. But yeah, first final table of the WSOP, out for the minimum. On to the next one. We get the main event coming up. Maybe I'll be a vlog from that. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully more to come. On to the next. Peace.